2008 has been a dynamic, action-filled year in the life of Wesley Mission, and one where we seem to have just ricocheted from one major event to the next. We've had everything, from the Easter sunrise service to the homelessness report, from Wesley Fair to the Life Force Memorial Service. It's been exhausting. I know what you're thinking. Let me have my holiday, get me out of this year. But first, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy some of these beautiful moments from 2008. Garner and Kevin Rudd helped launch the Touch Life campaign at Edward Eager Lodge, a fundraising venture assisting homeless people in Sydney and Newcastle.
But the most important people to welcome are the residents and staff of Edward Eager Lodge. They're the most important people who ever come into this building. Not the big guys, not the people who are important in our eyes, but the people who actually live here and who come into this emergency centre.
For those of you who are corporates here and who have dug deep either in money or time, or in allowing your staff to contribute money or time, on behalf of the government and the people of Australia, I thank you.
What does Easter mean to us today? Our Superintendent, the Reverend Garner, encouraged us all to reflect this year.
We're trying to ask Australians to say, what's the real meaning of Easter? There's a lot of people doing it tough in Australia. There's a lot of people in our cities and in our rural areas that are asking questions about life. It's not treated them all well. And I think the Easter message has got something to say to them. Good morning and a happy Easter to you. You join us for Wesley Mission's annual sunrise service, televised live here from the Opera House. Easter is the strong promise of God that He'll never let us down. To broken lives, He remains the glue that will hold everything together. To the lost, He is the journey home. To the strong, He will carry you. He will be your inspiration.
Hearing the stories of the homeless, like that of Emmanuel, helped spark our research and gave us better insight into the causes of homelessness.
My drug addiction had led me into homelessness, and I started separating myself away from the family. You know, in and out of juvie, in and out of jail, and eventually in and out of psych wards. I stuck to my guns in regards to wanting a better life for myself and, you know, making a change. I really believe that the people here at Wesley are God's angels on earth, you know. They really are.
Whether you are working with Wesley, whether you are working with people who are homeless day to day, or whether you are one of the very generous people who have come along tonight to show your support by making a financial contribution to the wonderful work of Wesley Mission, thank you very much on behalf of the Commonwealth Government.
And throughout the year, Keith continued to raise awareness of the major issues of financial stress and housing affordability.
But if somebody has nowhere to live, they have 3 kids, and they have to live with their brother in the front room and some sleeping on the floor of a kitchen, nobody in modern Australia can say that's anything other than homeless.
Bankrupt and homeless, the fate of so many families who now can't pay their mortgage. Their only resort, shelters and soup kitchens.
People are becoming homeless today who you never imagined would have ever become homeless.
The Wesley Mission says it can no longer cope with the surging number of families needing help. In the last year, it helped 4,800 people, but it had to turn away 2,424.
Keith and Carol also took a trip to Burma this year and continued Wesley Mission's support of the student ministry at the Evangelical Bible Seminary in Yangon. Again in 2008, Wesley Mission reached out to those among us who are affected by suicide. The Life Force Memorial Day service gives people an opportunity to grieve and share their experiences with other people in the community.
This we see as particularly a way we can help people spiritually and emotionally and deeply at a personal level dealing with the consequences of suicide.
And if we are going to reach out, as we do in Australia, and we do so well, we need to reach out to people and say, we are here to support you and to help you. And that is what Life Force does.
After its humble yet graceful beginnings in 1914, Wesley Fair celebrated its 95th year. Opened by the dignified Keith Suter, the affair continued in truly honourable form. Another standout moment for 2008 was Keith's interview on Rise and Shine with the captain of the ship Doulos, a floating library that brings literature and the gospel to developing nations.
It's an incredible privilege to be bringing the ship to my own country after having been to about 40 other countries with the ship. It's bringing knowledge of the love of God. We do that through an education, promoting education through the literature, the books on board, bringing practical help. So we do a lot of mission aid work.
And Keith also caught up with Operation Mobilisation founder and brainchild of the Doulos ship, George Verwer.
Well, I think the first challenge is always to God's people, wherever they are, whether I'm speaking in Kazakhstan, which I've done, or I'm speaking in southeast London where I live, to get God's people to be more committed.
And as we waved goodbye to the Doulos, we said hello to Roma Price and saw how Greenacre supported housing is helping those at risk of homelessness find their place in the community.
Greenacre Supported Housing is an initiative by Wesley Mission in conjunction with Department of Housing.
What we've got here is we've got a little community. Everyone cares about one another. That's the big difference, and we treasure it.
2008 also saw Wesley Vocational Institute extend its services to international students.
Wesley Vocational Institute has been around for more than 10 years. We started off as an enterprise registered training organization serving the needs of Wesley Mission and its clients. Over the period of time, we have become a private registered training organization serving the needs of the community at large. More recently, we have become an international RTO serving the needs of the international students in Sydney.
The Nepean Brighter Futures program continued their valuable work in helping families in need stay connected to the community.
I think it's a vital part of the Brighter Futures program is to reconnect.
For me, it's been really good to reconnect with my family because I need someone for Oliver.
Continuing its 50-year tradition, Wesley Mission Media brought us some entertaining, moving and informative programming from Rise and Shine and Praise, Prayer and Preaching.
Hi and welcome to another great half hour of Rise and Shine. It's our privilege to have you with us for the next half hour.
He was actually overwhelmed. He just put his head down. He couldn't cope with it.
It was scary, it was emotional.
They are the driving force in my life, my family, yeah.
And in my case, it was in the southern United States. It was very angry, fundamentalist, racist, legalistic, judgmental church. There were about 100 of us, and we thought, there may be as many as 125 people in heaven, but surely no more, you know.
You gave me a challenge that if I was to go 12 months without drinking, I would be interviewed.
And here we are fulfilling it all. And I said, such a handsome man as you know, is going to make such a difference on the TV, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be sure of this. The bus has not been cancelled. You don't need the preacher to explain it. It may feel late. You may have all kinds of questions in your mind. The overriding truth of this passage is be ready, soon or late, for he will come.
And congratulations to this year's A Chance to Shine stars, who were recognised by their peers for their outstanding delivery of Wesley Mission values in carrying out their work.
Oh, that's really cool.
On the recognition of your peers in the delivery of Wesley Mission's values of Christ-like servanthood, unfailing integrity and courageous commitment. So let's join together and congratulate